Bismillah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. My name is Ahmad Faisal. In today's video, I would like to present my assignment to explain briefly about how to make a simple food delivery app. So, in this video, I won't explaining too much. I won't be explaining too deep, and I won't be telling you step by step on how to design an app. Instead, I will explain what must what a must learn thing. So I won't be recovering all of how I built the app. So let's see what I've made. What I've made. As you can see, this is the landing page, and then there is also several variant of this ramen and buri miso drinks. And as you can see, you can slide this thing, can slide it, and you can also slide this thing, right? And this, as you can see, this is the navigation bar. When I click this, for example, let's go to profile. It goes to profile, and then if I press this, it will go back. And this the promo page. And let's take a look at. I want to order, for example, vegan tonkotsu. Alright, so I want it to be so there is spiciness level as you can see here, and I wanted it to be the spiciest level, the highest level of spicy. I could press this, and oh, maybe I want it to be more or less spicy. For example, let's say I want it to be the to level 2. As you can see, this is level 2, level 1, 3. So you can click this, yes, and then right, and then I want to order it now. Let's press order now, and as you can see, there is the order summary. Honestly, this order summary doesn't it doesn't really a summary, but it's just like a prototype. So yeah, so there is, as you can see, there is a payment methods. You can see you can click all of it. For example, let's say I wanted to pay with my debit card, and then pay now, successful, and go back if I don't want, and go back. Let's see, there is several variant of dishes. Let's say let's click the donburi one. As you can see, there is a lot of it, and I want to go back. So yeah, it's actually pretty easy to make this kind of prototype. So as I was saying before, I won't be explaining step by step on how I built this design. So I would only recover what how to make this, sliding prototype, and how to make this on, and how to, when you click this thing, it's come to this page, and when I click this, it comes back, and how to build this spiciness level, and in order, and how to do this. Okay, So let's get started. So the first thing first that my teacher always taught it to me, that's what taught me about is that before before you make any prototype, before you make any design of an app that you wanted, the first thing first is that you have to make a mood board. And what is a mood board? So basically, a mood board is a group of references. So you won't be going like, so you have references instead of relying on your head and something like that. But if you're a professional, maybe, but even professionals needs references. So this is my mood board, like the color. I like the color, and this the I got it from Pinterest. And the neat part about Figma is that you don't have to download your references. You could just copy paste it. Let's see, for example, here I open Pinterest. Let's search for ramen. As you can see, there's a lot of photos. Usually, you would want to download the photo so that you could import the photo into, maybe, for example, into Inkscape and something like that. But in Figma, you could just, for example, I want this thing, I want this photo. Let's say, let's copy this image and then go to Figma and just paste it. As you can see, you don't have to download it. Let's get to it. So first thing first is how I get this element. As you can see, this is not an element. This is not a logo. This is a photo. So how do I separate this thing, Fuji Ramen, with the rest of it, right? So what I did is actually I use a snipping tool, and for Windows, I think the shortcut is Windows Shift S, if I'm not mistaken, and then I snip this image, the one that has the logo, this rectangle, and then I copy here, say, and then after that, there is a plugin called Remove Background. Yeah. So let's try it. Let's try it. Control Shift S. You can see. Let's snip this one. So you can see this one here. Then save it. Let's name it Fuji Ramen. Then save it. Now let's open the file, and you can see this one, the one that I did before. So let's copy it here. And now what you wanted to do. search the plugin remove background. Remove background and then run. And after a few seconds, as you can see now, there is no background. So you could put it everywhere. For example, let's try to put it here. As you can see, there is no color, no background. And that's how I mostly do when I'm just making a prototype, like maybe making a prototype for my assignment, and like uh like this one. As you can see, there is actually a background, but when you use the plugin remove background, I think it will remove the background, and you can only have the head. All right, now let's get to the next one. So as you can see, you know how to make this one. Like I usually use remove background for my assignment, but of course, uh, if it's for a commission or something like that, I will not use a rest to search, for example, for a logo, because of course copyright. Now this, as you can see, the landing page have a background, cool background, of course. And what I did is actually just press F for frame, choose what frame do you want it to be, and now let's search for a background. I think this one looks good, so let's copy this image, and then before you paste it, before you paste the image, make sure you click on the frame that you want to paste the image in it. Click the frame and then paste here. As you can see now, the background it fills. You can also make it crop, tile, fit. I know it actually looks kind of bad, but it's just for an example. So that's how you do it. Or maybe, or there is another way to use it. You could also do this image or swap image. So maybe there is an image that you have downloaded. You could, for example, let's try this one, and there you go. Now let's get to the next. The next one is how to make this. How to make this to be slidable. Let's say the profile. As you can see, I can slide this thing, and how to make this. It's actually not that hard. It's actually really simple. So what you want to do is let's make a frame first. Frame, I want the background to be this color. Now, so as you can see, my rectangle is actually not a rectangle, but it's a pill. It's a pill shaped rectangle. Now, if you see on the right side, there is actually so many settings that you can change. So you can see the layout is where you change the size and something like that. And if you go to appearance, there is actually uh, an image of a corner. So this is the corner radius. So let's change it to be 20. So this thing determines how much the corner radius you want it to be. Let's try 50. As you can see, when I try 50, it's more look like a pill shaped, and if I want to be 20, it still have the rectangle in it, but the corner is rounded. Now let's copy paste it. We will make a bunch of it. Let's say actually let's make it outside of the frame. Now there is a thing that I want to explain first. So as you can see, there is an image about two rectangle, and what this does is that it determines on the gap between two objects. So for example, if I put it here, it's a line, but I think the gap between these two, of course, the gap between these two is not the same as this. So to make it more simple, we could do this, tidy up, or we could select these two by pressing shift. I click this, pressing shift and then click this, so it will click this two and then change the gap to 18. Now, how do I know the gap between these two is between this thing is 18? You could Alt, press Alt, and then click on the edge of the objects. As you can see, 18, 18, and 18 by pressing Alt. So to be able to make a prototype, to be able to slide it, first you have to make it an auto layout. And how to make an auto layout is just by pressing Shift A. And as you can see, before it was just a bunch of object, and when you press Shift Alt, it becomes a frame. Now let's put this frame inside this thing. Now let's go to prototype. As you can see, there is a scroll behavior. The position is scroll with parent, and the overflow is wait vertical horizontal. Now let's after that, what you wanted to do is make this rectangle smaller. Make this rectangle smaller so that this prototype rectangle, so this rectangle is not actually the the size of this object, it's the size of how much you can scroll over out of it. let's let's show it instead. Let's show it instead of explaining. I think it's better to watch it than trying to explain it. As you can see, when it's here, I couldn't scroll it. But now let's try make it smaller, like about here. Now let's again, as you can see, now I can scroll. So the scroll stops when the last object hit this line over here. So if I make rectangle smaller, I could scroll it even further. Uh, and it's almost the same as the vertical scroll. Let's make a bunch of boxes. Now make it let's tidy up. Now if you wanted to be able to scroll it vertically, I suggest that you make the frame longer. Let's try this one. Now let's make all of this a frame by pressing Shift A. And let's go to prototype. Scroll will be vertical, and let's make it around here. Let's take a look. As you can see now, I can scroll. Oh, So I think instead of making it smaller, just make the frame bigger instead of making the prototype rectangle smaller. Now let's get to the next. So I think now you know the gist of it and on uh, how to make an object to be able to scroll horizontally and vertically. And now the next part is about actually almost all of it is about prototyping. So what we wanted to do is of course make a bunch of frames first before prototyping. So I did I did all of it before I do the animations and things like that. Now let's say you have made all of it, but and you want it to be more interactive. So I get this navigation bar here. So I don't put my navigation bar to the bottom because as you can see here, the navigation button, the navigation bar stays about here. And if I put it at the bottom, the user won't see the navigation bar. So what you wanted to do is put it in the middle. Alright, so now let's take a look at this. So there is several sections that I made, and when I click on this, it navigates to this page right here. So how do I do that? It's very simple. Go to prototype and click on this done booty, or click on the rectangle that you wanted it to navigate to a page. For example, I want this rectangle. When I press it, it navigates to this page. So what I need to do is double click on this, as you can see, so that if you only click it one time, it refers to this frame. But if you click one more time, it refers to only this. So you will navigate to this page by only pressing this, not by pressing all of this. So click this, let's click this and go to prototype. So when you hover over the edge, you got to see the plus icon. Press the plus icon and drag it to the page that you wanted to navigate to. Thing, and I want it to be, as you can see, there is several elements, several settings. Navigate to don't create animations. Do you want it to smart animate? Do you want to move in, move out? I want it to be instant. And now, if I go to the preview and I click on Dunbury, it navigates to this page. And that is what I did almost everything in every button. So for example, when I click this, it goes big. So on this button, it's a little bit different. As you can see, it's not refers to another page, but it refers to back. You can see here. So let's press this button and then go to interaction, press the plus button, and you will see on trigger action, go back, and you are ready. And as you can see, there is so many pages, and you can do all of it. Let's explain on how to. Oh, just a quick reminder. I use this prototyping method almost in everything. So for example, if I click this thing, I wanted to navigate it to the payment page. So I would click this and then hover it to the payment page. As you can see, there is a lot of line. So every every order now rectangle, I make it. I made a prototype so that when I click on the order now rectangle, it navigates to the payment frame. And now let's explain. Oh yeah, let's explain about this thing, the spiciness level. As you can see here, when I click this, I want the I want the spiciness level to on the level 3 or maybe level 2 or no maybe level 1. So it's interactive. When you click on the chili logo, it lights up. So how you do it is that, so there is actually two ways of animating something. So the first one is actually in this payment pages, but I will explain the simplest thing, the easiest way, so that you don't have to make pages pages of frame to animate. So you don't have to make frames, so many frames just to be able to animate. So what I do is, first you want to make a three rectangle. Let's say this three rectangle, or maybe logos, or maybe something. Now what you wanted to do is make it a component, create a component, and make the selection color a bit darker. Let's make the opacity to 50, and then click on the component and go to here, go to the top, and there is a button, add variant. Press this one. As you can see, it adds a new variant of this component. Let's make it about 4. One, two, three, four. So this one is no spice. This one would be level 1 spiciness. This one would be level 2 spiciness, and the last one would be level 3 spiciness. What you want to do, change the box, the color of this box. For example, let's try it very bright, and then for this, of course, because it's level 2 spiciness, it would do, it would be 2 box. It's lagging it. And then the last one, you wanted to highlight all of it. You wanted to, yeah. Now what you wanted to do is to, so I wanted to, when I tap on this rectangle, it navigate to this component, and when I press on this, it would navigate to this component, and so on. So let's first go to prototype and press on this box, not this component but this box. Now drag this to this component. On tab, change to variant number 2 instant. Let's take a look at it. Right. Alright, let's just continue. So when I press this, it would navigate to this state. When I press this, it would navigate to this state, and when I press this, it would navigate to the third level. Let's make it a frame. Wait, oh wait, actually, go to assets, and as you can see, there is the component that we've just created. Now drag this component to the frame that you want this thing to be. Now let's click on the frame and start the preview. Wow, as you can see, when I click on this, it changed the color. But when I click on this, it doesn't do anything, because when the animation is on this component, it it doesn't. I haven't make a prototype out of it yet. So let's make it. I want I want it to be when I press this rectangle would be it would navigate to this and so on. Now let's make it. There we go. Now let's try clicking on this one, and would you look at that? Now you can click all the three of them. For example, but I'm thinking, let's think of it as a spiciness level. I think it's too spicy. I wanted to go back to level 2 of spiciness. As you can see, I'm clicking, but nothing is happening. So what you wanted to do is click on this, click on this rectangle. So when I click on this, I want it to navigate to level 2 spiciness. And when I click on this, I want it to navigate to level 1 spiciness. And as the same as the level 2, when I click on this, it navigates to level 1 spiciness. Now let's try. Now let's see the prototype. Now as you can see, fully it's fully reactive, and that's how I make the spiciness level on my prototype. Now for the last one is the second method of animating. Let's see on this one. Let's go to the payment page. Now there is three payment method. I wanted to, when I click on this one, as you can see here, it highlight. So let's click on this one, or maybe I wanted to pay with my debit card or maybe cash on delivery. You can click all of it, and when you click pay now, there is a pop-up that says the payment is successful. Now it's kind of different, so I don't use component on this one. Instead, I use several several frames. So what I did is make the first frame. So this would be the first frame, and then copy paste three times. The second frame is when I click on this debit card debit card method. The third frame is when I'm clicking on the credit card method, and the third is when I wanted to pay to when I wanted to cash on delivery method. So it's almost the same as just dragging. As you can see here, when I click on this, on tab it will navigate to this page, payment instant. So when I tap on this thing, it would navigate me to this pages. So it would look it highlighted, and the same as the other one. When I click on this thing, it will navigate to this. When I click on this thing, it will navigate to this one, and so on. And what you will get is like this thing. I think that's all for today's video. Thank you for watching. I know my English is still not good, and I think my explanation is a lot of things is very confusing. But thank you for watching. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.